Porn addiction doesn't start with obsession. It starts with relief. You're stressed, lonely, numb, and for a few minutes, porn gives you an escape, a rush, a hit of dopamine. Feels like control, like something that's just yours. But over time, it becomes the only reliable way to feel anything. And what happens next? Most people don't see it coming, so they're stuck in a cycle they can't break. You're not addicted to porn. You're addicted to the cycle it locks you in. You feel anxious, lonely, bored. You turn to porn to numb it out. And then comes the crash, guilt, shame, emptiness. You tell yourself it's the last time. But the next time that feeling creeps in, you're right back at the start. It doesn't feel like an addiction because it feels like you're choosing it. But the more time you go through the loop, the harder it gets to break. So here's what's actually happening in your brain during porn addiction. Your reward system, dopamine, anticipation, novelty, it's being constantly overloaded. Your brain starts to rewire itself around this artificial stimulus. Real life intimacy feels dull. Focus drops, motivation fades. And suddenly, the parts of your brain meant for connection, drive, and self-control, they start shutting down. You're not just watching porn, you are training your brain to depend on it. Here's what most people get wrong about porn addiction. It's not about how often you watch. It's about how deeply it's wired into how you cope. You can stop for a few days and still be addicted. Porn addiction isn't just about frequency. It's about what your brain now expects when things get hard. If your first impulse is always to escape into a screen, that's a dependency. And if quitting makes you anxious, restless, or irritable, there's something deeper going on. This doesn't mean porn has never helped people. For some, it's been a way to explore identity, reduce shame, or survive trauma. It's not evil, and you're not broken for using it. But when it becomes the only way you know how to self-soothe, disconnect, or feel aroused, that's when it starts to take more than it gives. It's not about judgment. It's about being honest with what it's really doing to your mind, your energy, and your relationships. Porn addiction doesn't just change what turns you on. It changes what your brain responds to. Real life connection starts to feel dull. Sex feels mechanical. You're in the moment, but not really there. That's not because you're broken. It's because your brain has been flooded with artificial highs. And now reality doesn't feel stimulating enough to register. That kind of numbness doesn't fix itself overnight. But with time and without constant overload, it can start to come back. Porn addiction convinces you that relief is just one click away. But the real freedom isn't in getting away from discomfort. It's in finally facing it and realizing you're strong enough to sit with it. You don't need to shame yourself. You just need to understand the cycle and know that there is a way out. If this hits home for you, we are here. Call us at 844-590-0403 and let's start breaking the loop.